You enjoy the complex sensation on your taste buds. You know, it's tasting like French cuisine, every single bite, right? Every microsecond, you're enjoying it. You're loving it, rather. Okay, so when, in these moments of emphasis, when basically, it's like, again, timeline. Now I love it. I love that food. But in the case of McDonald's, we sort of expand that moment into lots of little moments where you are loving it. Right? So it's a way of emphasizing.
When we want to emphasize something, we could use continuous form.
That's right. Like, usually, I enjoyed that film. So maybe you're sitting in this film and it's really spectacular and you're really, you know, liking every moment and you say to your friend, I'm really enjoying this film, I'm glad you invited me. Right? So when you kind of slightly magnify it, put it under a microscope, and you kind of get little repeated moments every microsecond of enjoyment, then you can do it. Yeah, so that's a very common form of exception. Yeah.
John, the question back to G. If we put it in a reversed order, can we say I ate too much and or not, and just that I ate too much, full stop. Yeah. I feel awful now.
Perfect. Yeah. You wouldn't say I felt awful now, because felt and now doesn't work, but I felt awful, full stop. You don't have to say I feel awful. If you're going to use now, you have to change your verb to present. Yeah. But let's forget the now. Yeah, I get your point. If you put them in chronological order, you don't need your past perfect. This is one way we can cheat. If you don't like the past perfect and it's a bit complex for you, then if you put things in chronological order, generally you can avoid it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Less small sentences.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's do it with this one. Let's try to avoid it.
You mean I ate too much, then I feel awful now.
Yeah.
Not now. Don't now.
No, that's right. You'd say then I felt awful, rather than now when you do. So we can just do it like this. Alright, so to your point, we can just break it up like that. That feels a bit what we call choppy. Feels like it's chopped up, doesn't it? Really, we want some sort of relationship between. It's a bit more natural and logical. So we can we could do that.
Or semicolon.
We could do, you could, yeah, beautiful. Semicolon and a small then. Yeah, absolutely. Because they're like two sentences, but they're logically related. Yeah. Or we could do this, couldn't we? I felt too much, comma, so, conjunction. I felt awful. Or we could say full stop as a result. Many ways of doing it. But however we do it, because they're in order, chronological, we've avoided the past perfect.
John, I ate too much, I feel awful now. I feel now. But your friend's telling you, take more, I say, I ate too much, I feel awful.
Yeah, that's right, because now you're in different situation, because these are both past, right? These are both there and there, aren't they? Now your case, your example is, I ate too much, now I feel awful. That's fine. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I hope you can see the benefit of sort of drawing these things. They help quite a lot.
John, but in this if Mary's case, it's so very better to use present perfect. I have eaten too much, so I feel awful now.
Yeah.
Because the still result is...
That's right. Yeah. If the result of some action is impacting on the present, then you use your present perfect. I've eaten too much. I feel awful. But again, it's a bit like one of these. It's sort of like this territory. it's okay to say simple past, I ate too much, I feel awful.
We can use simple past or present past.
Present perfect.
Both of them are.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, are we ready for 7? Let's do it while all this is circulating in our heads. Probably best that while we're hot. Yeah, let's do 7. Complete the text by using one word in each space. I'll just read it through, and you might feel like, you know, when you read, I've said before, when you read things out loud, sometimes things just naturally fall into place. And I've talked about that. Remember with your essay I've suggested, read things out loud. Not in the exam, please. Don't after an hour, you finish my first draft, stand up, alright, be very noisy. But at home with your essay, read it out loud. Every draft you do, read it out loud. We hear different things to what we see. You can pick up errors. Something sounds wrong, but it doesn't look wrong. It's a useful editing technique. So I'll just read this out, and you might feel, oh, that something naturally falls into place without even thinking about it. When I was a young man, I spent a year in France studying French at the University of Grenoble. Every Friday, I would eat at the Alps Cafe. I didn't something to spend much money, as I not afford it. But it was a little tradition of mine to eat there. Anyway, I'm going to tell you a true story which happened on one occasion when I eating there. I remember I was having a pasta dish at the time. A beautiful girl came up to me and said, if you wanted to walk with me in the park. I had never seen her, so I was rather taken aback like a bit surprised. When you're taken aback. Taken aback is like this. Somebody says something, you go, it's like that. Oh, yeah, kind of a little shock. That's why back. I was something to go with her when I noticed a tough-looking man was watching our every movement. Okay, one thing you have to think about here is tense, but also putting the right time indicator. There's a couple of time indicator questions. My discomfort, the girl whispered to me, park, 5 minutes, and then disappeared. Well, my bill, ages to arrive, and by the time I to the park, there was no sign of the girl. I asked an old lady who was sitting there if she seen a young girl waiting around. I described the girl to her. The old lady said that the girl had to rush to the railway station and that I to follow her there urgently. She had also left me a note. Notice the past perfect there. She had also left me a note. It said, I will explain everything. Meet me on platform 6. Dun, 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 dun.
Some of them are verbs, some of them nouns, some of them...
Yeah, look, it's not just testing the verb here. Even testing an interesting little collocation, number 9, nothing to do with verbs. If you've been reading a lot and a lot of fiction, that one will fall into place. Alright? This is a kind of a salad, this one, not just testing verbs. There are several verbs in here, but it's testing you on time indicators and even just an interesting little colourful collocation with number 9. Okay, over to you and talk about them. Talk about them as you do them.